Welcome to Handle Multiple Screens with Navigation Patterns. In this video, introduce navigation in React Native. The objectives of this video are to introduce navigation in React Native with React Navigation. We will then compare and contrast navigation libraries. And lastly, we will install React Navigation. With React Native, you can utilize a JavaScript implementation or native implementation for navigation. React Native has the option to utilize native containers for navigation components. This is beneficial in terms of performance in providing that native feel to your application. There is a drawback to this approach, in that when you utilize native navigation, it is difficult to debug and customize. The drawback of using a JavaScript implementation will be performance, and if you want that native feel, you'll need to take the time to implement it yourself. There are multiple options for navigation in React Native. I will introduce some here. The first I want to talk about is React Navigation. We will cover this more in detail, but it's a JavaScript implementation for handling navigation within your app. The next is React Native Router Flux. React Native Router Flux embraced React Native early and has tons of documentation and a large API. The next is React Native Navigation, which provides 100% native platform navigation for both iOS and Android for your React Native app. The next is React Native Easy Router. This is kind of like a mix of React Navigation and React Native Router Flux, but there's not a lot of options when you use this. The last one I'll cover is React Native Swipe Navigation. This is well known for its smooth transitions. In this course, we will utilize React Navigation. It will simply allow us to examine the navigation patterns we want to focus on without too much boilerplate. The React Navigation docs define the library as an extensible and easy to use navigation solution. The reason behind that is that it's completely written in JavaScript. This library offers you a chance to customize and adjust how navigation works within your application. Outside of customization, React Navigation offers multiple options for how you can handle navigation within your app. React Navigation does not use any native implementation, so this is a pro in terms of customization and being able to debug any possible issues you may run into. The drawback is if you need platform-specific behavior, you will have to do the work to mimic it yourself, and it may be better to use another option like React Native Navigation. The logic is executed on the JavaScript thread and provides a 60 frame per second transition using the React Native primitives and the animated API. Now that we understand our options and why we will be using React Navigation, let's install it in our sample project, and we can implement some of these navigation patterns. So in terminal, you will input npm install react navigation --save. And once that's installed, you'll also install React Native Gesture Handler. Then to wrap up, we'll React Native link our libraries. To finalize our installation of React Native Gesture Handler for Android, we have to modify the main activity Java. So in our Android directory, let's navigate down to Android app source main Java com, your project name, and select that main activity Java file. We're going to make the following changes at the top. We're going to import the following from com.facebook.react. We'll get React activity delegate, React root view, then under the get main component, we'll add a protected class that will override Android's gesture handler by adding the following. We'll add override, and we'll add a protected class, React activity delegate. We'll create React activity delegate, and within that, we'll return a new React activity delegate and pass in this and the get main component name, and within those brackets, we'll add another override with a protected React root view set to return the R and gesture handler. And that'll wrap up our installation.